Welcome back, Panther fans. I'm David Brown here with Ryan Graham,
Hey, y'all.
Tim Thurber,
Hello.
and this is State of Atlanta.
Yerm.
All right. Welcome back, guys.
Hey, man.
That's kind of a squeaky voice there. Yeah. I am trying to prepare for this episode, and I prepared for one specific thing and not a lot of others. So it's going to be kind of a narrow focused episode, but we're 1 week away from football. We're days away from college football happening, but we're just a week away from our own game. You guys
Look,
get
half
excited?
the time we don't prepare anything, and shit's golden. So I'm not too worried about it.
We'll be
Like
fine.
the Panther?
Tim's going to
like
bring
the
it home
Panther?
for us.
We know you have something planned. You said you were working on lots of slides. Hopefully that wasn't work. It was like State of Atlanta.
Oh, God. Oh, man, I haven't done slides for work in forever. I'm not in sales.
Yeah.
Never have been in sales. Thank God. I would be horrible at that.
David has the best deck in the Panther Nation. It's the best deck.
Is it golden?
It's the best.
I did transfer to Georgia State as a marketing major. So
Nice.
at one point, sales was in my my future, but
You worked with
I
all the
think you
best decks.
exactly. I majored in the Robinson College of Business. If there was a major in Robinson College of Business, I was a major for at least a semester or two in my tenure at Georgia State, which I think is pretty.
Where was it when you were in school? Like what building was the College of Business in? Like the
Most
actual
of my
offices and
classes-
all that.
The offices it was Bank of America or whatever it was called.
Okay,
the
still
Nations
there.
Bank, Nation. Actually, back then it was Nations Bank
Nations
building.
Bank. Yeah.
Yeah. And I only had to meet with a professor once or twice there. I wasn't that bad of a. I wasn't a good student. I wasn't that bad of a student.
Yeah, I think the only time I ever went to my advisor was like they have to sign off on your plan, like your 2-year plan or whatever after you've been there for 2 years. So I went
Yeah,
in and I was like, here's the classes I have to take. Like, what do you mean? This is all like
Do I
algorithmic.
get my gold star now?
I don't get to pick. Like you told me what classes I have to take. So like here's my plan to take those classes.
Ryan, I think they started that after I was at school for the better part of a decade, and they're like, we need to put some strict rules around this whole program over here. We can't have people just like majoring in everything here and there.
They're like pass or fail. We don't care if you just give us your money.
pretty much what it is nowadays, right? All right, so football is starting. You guys are we gonna watch the Georgia Tech Florida State game together this Saturday? I want to.
Sure, where are we going?
What are we gonna
do?
Is it like noon or something? What time is
It better be 'cause, like that's like what 7 o'clock in Dublin.
Yeah, so
whatever
it's
it
gotta
is.
be like noon, right?
Going to go to like Manny's or
I think
we can
Manny's-
go to that fancy brunch spot and get $1,000, $1 million
oh boy.
gold
Tim is
plated
buying this week.
pancakes.
Everybody show up. Tim is putting it on the Amex, and we'll be good to go.
What's their special, Ryan? What do they give
It's
you?
gold plated pancakes, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, well, I was just guessing.
Oh, the breakfast at Barney's, the old Bada Bings that you guys talking
Yeah,
about.
I'm pretty sure it's $1,000 and it's gold plated.
But we'll show up with PBR.
Do you think they have PBR there?
Have
you gone to
I
it?
don't know. Maybe that's a maybe.
Because it's kind of hipstery.
Yeah,
Is it?
It's very hipstery.
I miss Bada Bings. It was like Taco
ultimate
Mac light. I don't
Bar. The food was pretty good, and we could take it over and do whatever we wanted to.
yeah.
For-
That was
for-
the good
for
part.
bar.
The food was
All right.
acceptable.
We're off topic. Sorry, David.
No,
No,
we're
it's
not.
fine.
We're
It's
talking about where we used to watch games. and Where we're
Saturday.
going to watch games now. So, and Manny's has really good food. They have really good
Yes,
food. Those
it does.
burgers are. I can't believe I haven't eaten one of those burgers since last
Since
season.
basketball season.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I think Manny sounds like a good place to try to set up shop and watch the game. I think I'm in for that. All right. I mentioned Golden Panther briefly, not to get into it for too long, but we were supposed to have a Georgia State Golden Panther beer to be drinking tonight on the episode, and we don't.
Yeah.
And it's at fault of someone, something, or someone's or some things. I don't know what it is. We were told beer would be available at the brewery for us to pick up. I went. It was not. They say it's only available at the stadium. So I guess time will tell actually what's going to happen there. But
Some
certainly
wires
feels
crossed
like-
in communication for sure.
it feels like another GSU and get kind of a moment,
Could be.
but
Could be.
we'll I've not talked to anybody at the university about it, so we'll see. But I did get
No
My
replies yet,
own-
have you? Like I know I reached out multiple social media channels. Have you?
I got a Wild Leap a Wild Leap Golden, what do they call it? Local Gold. I got the Wild Leap, and I put a Georgia State
And
on it. So I've got the first ever outside of Center Park Stadium Golden Panther beer, and I will drink it tonight. I already opened up a Miller Lite, but I'm gonna open it up now and drink it as well.
It seemed to me, it just seems a lot like maybe there was like a lot implied in the contract rather than like explicit. Maybe I'm sure there's a
Was there a
contract
contract?
somewhere.
maybe
I'm sure
at
there's a contract
some
somewhere.
point-
If it's not just a handshake deal, and then there was not really any follow up to check on it. And if there was, and they knew it wasn't going to come out, then like maybe communication should have happened there to us as well, because David took time out of his day to go to Wild Leap, and that sucks.
Yeah, I took
That
two of
does
my
suck.
kids with me, so that meant I was not going to stick around and drink at all. But I was going to go
Yeah,
there.
no, that kind of
drink.
sucks. Like you got told it was going to be there. You made time to go support the Panthers, and then you couldn't.
So what they said on the press release and at the kickoff luncheon where we were first talking about it was the beer would be available at the stadium, at the brewery, and available online. Well, the beer technically is available at all those places, assuming when we get there on September 7th, they've got it at the stadium. It's just the local gold, which is the beer that they've
clearly didn't
rebranded.
mean that. I think they thought it would be available, and it's not. And who
Yeah.
knows what happened
Well,
there? And it just
We'll see what
sucks.
happens. It's annoying because I want to tailgate. I want to have it at the tailgates. I wanted to have it at the Georgia Tech tailgate. I wanted to be able to have, I'm not going to buy a crap ton of them. I'm not going to drink a crap ton of them. It's going to be more expensive beer than my.
Oh, I'm going
Boy,
to drink the
Miller
shit
Lites.
out of them in the stadium.
In the stadium. Yeah.
That's what I'm gonna. That's gonna be my go-to, just because I love. We've been wanting this for such a long time. I gotta support it. I want it,
Of course.
even if it's only in the stadium. That's okay. I wish it was communicated that way, but
Yeah, I think the first time we ever
it is
heard
what it
about
is. Still happy.
first time we ever heard about a Georgia State beer being a possibility was when we played at Oregon, and when Dr. Becker was there, and they had a Oregon branded beer inside their stadium, and he wanted it back then. So this is a long time. That was we were still FCS. We were not even transitioning back then.
Yeah, and it
was a
wasn't as
minute ago.
popular of a thing. And up there, that is like brewery country.
A very
So-
common thing up there. Yeah.
Yeah, so they already had a lot of that. It was them in like North Carolina who had already had like pretty lax laws about local brews and stuff like that, micro brews, and then everyone else has opened up now. So they've been ahead of the game, but like it's nice to be in it now.
Yeah, back when we started football, back in 2010 was the first season. College stadiums having beer in them was not a very common thing. Even
Yeah.
just that short time ago, like us having beer in the stadium. Like I remember people saying, "Oh, you guys can do that because it's not an on-campus stadium."
And they were
That's what
wrong.
everyone
That wasn't
everyone
even
thought.
true.
Everyone thought on-campus stadiums could not have beer, and it turned out like no, colleges, for as long as they possibly could, tried to act like they were academic institutes of better learning, and they didn't want to encourage game.
Well, they
day
all
beer
had
drinking.
their prohibition era. They were
Yeah.
smuggling stuff in. So I remember talking about the Tennessee stadium that is rancid and terrible and stupid, but you can apparently
Horrible
just walk right under the rafters. Like somebody outside the stadium can just walk right under and pass things up. And so that's like people just pass shit up there all day.
That's
I mean, how do
that's why-
you think they got all that stuff to throw at the players last year?
that's why they're singing Rocky Top so many times. They just completely forgot. They either forgot that they sing it already, or they forgot that they're in the middle of singing it, and they just keep on going with it. So,
Yeah.
all right, enough of the beer. We'll find out more hopefully in the coming weeks about where we can finally get our official Golden Panther, because I want to have some cans behind me.
Well,
over
it'll be
here.
at the stadium. I bet if we have any hope of getting any, it would be through our guy Mac. I bet he.
Well, I
he
don't.
might have-
I don't. We'll see. I don't know if they have any distribution license.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
If we do have access to it beforehand, he's gonna be the guy who knows how to do it. But it's probably doubtful.
We'll see. We'll see. All right. I want to talk about the upcoming football season. We got there and we got there.
Right. Look at this.
Let's just run through the
Fancy.
game. Let's run through all 12 games, and we'll just kind of give our thoughts on each of the game. And if we want to keep track of wins and losses, we can. I'll try to pencil that down here. Actually, I have no pencils. I have pencils. I don't have any paper. I have a computer. We'll see. All right. Obviously, week 1 opening up at Georgia Tech easily the biggest game in Georgia State's history. Head coach has been there since the middle of 2022. Their Georgia Tech's coming out of Dublin game against Florida State. How you guys feeling about this game? Like, we know we've talked about it all off season. It's the only game we've talked about all off season. How you feeling about it, Tim?
I felt really good about it until I started reading more about Georgia Tech and Haynes King, and their offense is supposed to be one of the top rated in the ACC this year, so defense should be improved, but still not great. I think I'm kind of on the fence now.
I've drank the blue Kool-Aid ever since Del McGee showed up, but when I do the same thing every season, I get really hyped up about the beginning of the season, what the season's going to look like, and then as we start getting closer and closer to game day, I get more apprehensive and a little bit more pessimistic. Fortunately for us, we have this Florida State game in Dublin to look at, and
we do.
And I'm gonna, we're speculating for the entire season. We're speculating for stuff that's going to happen out at the end of November. But at least on this one game, I can say that I'm going to wait and see what happens on this Saturday versus Florida State before I figure out what's going to go on. But I think that we're in this game. There's no reason why we can't be in this game. I feel like we'll see what happens.
It's going to be competitive. Yeah, it'll be competitive no
be.
matter what. Do we have a chance to win? Absolutely. It's not like we're playing UGA or some other big name SEC team. So I mean, I want to say we're going to be competitive, but I'm going to have to say we come up just short in this one.
Yeah,
I want to be wrong. I want to be wrong fully.
I don't think it's fair. I mean, I don't think it's anything wrong with saying that you lose that Power 5 game, especially week 1, having Power 5 games, even if it is a team like Georgia Tech, who seems to be kind of on the up and up. Ryan, how important is it to just be in this game, or does it not matter? Like, obviously we want to win. But
I think we're gonna win. So I'm not.
We're gonna win.
Yeah. Like I, where you guys seem like you're peeling off the other direction. I like went and I sort of looked at it, and I'm, they seem like they're the second full year. It seems like they are stabilizing some stuff, and that they're like Tim said, their offense is looking a little bit better. But I think that they're just going to be off their kilter from heavy travel, and they're not going to think very highly of us. And then I think it's going to be a lot of on us though. I think we're going to learn a lot about our team in this game, and my hope. And the only thing I have to go off of is hope at this point, because I don't have any film to look at. My hope is that Coach A.D. McGee has got the program energized, and that he has our guys ready to play this game and just like punch him in the face, just punch him right in the nose right when you come out, and like just never let off. And I think that's a game that we could watch, no problem. So I got it as a win, and this is supposed to be the toughest game on our schedule, and I got it as a win. So
all right.
Sounds like we're shooing for App.
I
got that as a loss, but spoiler alert.
I have bolded and underlined Ryan as a W for.
Well, I got it bolded and underlined that David is a cop out.
No, I put question mark. I put question mark. I really don't know.
You got to pick one, man.
Okay, that's fair. Tim picked.
This isn't Ben. You have to actually say
if you're gonna force my hand, if you're gonna twist my arm, I want to go with W as well. And that has nothing to do with what Ryan just said. I'm going W.
You can't you can't just be like, oh, I'm gonna wait till I watch a game. That's every week we could change our.
But we have that luxury. We could be doing
this is a preseason ranking
next week.
Preseason expectations.
I think it'd be hilarious if we go through every game and say everything except for W or L.
Okay, so the question I was trying to ask Ryan, but he projects a win, so it doesn't matter. Tim, how important is it if we're going to lose this game? How important, or is it not important for Georgia State just to be in it? Do we want
to be there? Not important.
Is a 54-14 loss
doesn't matter,
leaps and bounds worse than a 24-21 loss? How bad is it?
If we lose 54-14 or whatever you said, no one's gonna care. Right. If we lose 24-21 or a last second, it's tied and they kick a field goal to take the lead and we can't muster something, huge impact, even if we lose in that case, because that'll be
So I guess-
all over the news. If we lose 54-14, they'll show a couple highlights and that's it.
Right. So I guess the pessimism that's been sinking in as we've gotten closer to the season is if we do lose and it's a blowout, it should not set fans' expectations for the rest of the season.
No, not at all.
But if we do keep it close, we're within striking distance the entire game, then I think that is a reason for fans to be excited about the season. I think the fans should be excited anyways, no matter what. But I just don't think that a blowout loss necessarily means that we can just go ahead and fold up shop and go home.
No, but I think a blowout takes the wind out of everyone's sails, and so I think you'll see like fans that it's going to be really tough for
The
people who are
season's
paying
over.
attention. Like, yeah, I guess the media is not going to cover it so much if it's a blowout. I think Tim's right about that. But like fans are going to be like, "Oh, we're in
The
for another
world's
season."
ending.
Crap,
Right.
if it's 53-3 or whatever, like you just said,
Yep.
that would just be really, really bad. And I think it would also set up the players to take the wind out of their sails and would probably set us. I would change if that happened. I would change all my rankings, and not only because of how I think that we match up against teams, but because I think that it would just create like this negative momentum right off the get.
Gotcha. Yeah, I
So
agree.
we shouldn't schedule any of these P5 games at the beginning.
I don't like
It's
having.
tough.
I
It
don't
is
like
tough.
the P5 games week one. There was a thread on the Sunbelt message board this week, that I did not intend to talk about at all, but it kind of leads into it. And they're talking about the Sunbelt getting some week 0 games. I don't think the Sunbelt has any week 0 games because typically that's for your international games, or if you're playing Hawaii, you can schedule a week 0 game. And some trash down south guy was like, Georgia State used to play exclusively week 0 games beginning of the season, and I'm like, that is not true at all. We played one game prior to week 1, but that was the Wednesday. We got a petition to play on the Wednesday before the Thursday was the scheduled game, and then the Falcons ended up scheduling a preseason game, and there was 2 Chick-fil-A games on the Saturday and Friday. So we played one day, or I think that was even before week 0 was a thing back then. But
We still had a petition for it. And I
saying-
think it was considered a week 0 game, like very technically, but like you're not wrong about all the details
it was
there
a
and how it's
week
like, what do you
one-
mean we always? It's like patently false.
It was a week 1 minus 1 day game.
Yeah.
And this is before week
Yeah.
0 existed. But another Georgia State fan commented on the guy's post, and he says, back in the Georgia Dome days, we traditionally did play our games on that Thursday or Friday leading into the week 1 series because we did have Falcons preseason and Chick-fil-A games to worry about in the Georgia Dome, and it's not been an issue since then. And I had forgotten really that was the case. I miss playing Thursday. I liked being one of the first games in all of college football. That was cool. And it gave me more Dragon Con time on Saturday and Sunday.
That's right. It cleared your weekend to do other
Exactly.
Labor Day festivities.
It is tough.
Yeah,
though.
Labor Day? Yeah,
It's-
Labor Day.
It's tougher schedule wise for people though. I mean, I think our attendance probably just has a better shot of being higher if we're at home and it's on a weekend.
Do you think, but that weekend, like that Labor Day weekend, that weekend that so many people plan on either traveling or, going to Dragon Con or going to the Chick-fil-A games or something like that. It's that 3-day weekend, a month into school where people are getting ready to do stuff that they may already be gone out of town on Saturday, but maybe, a Thursday night, see a game
Maybe.
before heading out of town on Friday morning type thing. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. It's tough. I mean, if people were
Yeah.
working on Friday too. I just never liked the Thursday night games for the most part. Hopefully the Sun Belt doesn't adopt like multi-weekday Tuesday,
Yeah.
Wednesday, Thursday. Why not just add Monday at this point? Play on
Well,
Sunday.
Was it with Conference USA doing the all Saturdays all games in October on Tuesdays or something like that? There's no Saturday
Which
games.
is terrible.
There's no Saturday Conference USA games in October. I thought about this. If the Sun Belt did this, let's go ahead and schedule our entire outer conference schedule to be on the Saturdays in October.
I mean, it must be nice to have all those fans with great jobs where they can just take all these days off just for sports, I mean, I know I know this crew here does that, but like if it became too much, like there is a limit. Also, we have good jobs.
Right.
So.
I mean, I feel like that's
we went to Georgia State University and we got
That's
good
right.
careers,
I feel like that's abuse on the Conference USA teams, straight up. Like
It is.
you're
I
worth
agree.
nothing. You're playing on Tuesday.
Yeah, that's rough. All right, let's move on. Let's get
Yeah,
through
woo.
the thing here. All right, so we got Ryan and myself going for wins. We're all going for a win. Ryan and myself are projecting wins. Tim is cautiously saying that a loss is definitely in the cards.
Haynes
So,
King throws a pick six towards the end of the game, and we win 31-28.
all right.
Oh, wait, you're switching to a W?
No,
Okay, because I'm writing these down.
you can
So-
write the. You can
I
write the L
got a
down.
table set up.
Okay.
I've got a table set up on our notes page. I'm
All right.
tracking everything. All right, we have the Mocs of Chattanooga heading. What is it? 45 minutes down I-75 to get to it's
Damn,
45 minutes to go from Chattanooga to 285, and then another 45 minutes from 285 to downtown Atlanta. Is that how it works?
So they
No,
do
no,
have
getting in
the
and out of
train in
Chattanooga
their
is-
logo.
I don't know. You'll see my logo selection for the slides is a little
I think you made this artwork. It's pretty nice. I like it.
yeah. Then I did not make it.
Getting in and out of Chattanooga is a bear too. So it's like 45 minutes to get out of Chattanooga, 45 minutes to get into Atlanta,
They've
and
gotta
then
leave.
30 minutes in between.
This is not something. This is absurd, but like they've got to leave Friday morning, right? Like they can't leave Friday afternoon. Rush hour Chattanooga, rush hour Atlanta.
Saturday morning, they're coming in.
That becomes a 6-hour trip.
Yeah, you may as well fly.
Yeah. All right. What did I put down here? Their record. Man, I should
8-5.
They were 8-5 last season, 6-2 in conference. They were in the playoffs. They won the first round against Austin Peay, then lost at Furman. We've
beat
lost
us.
the one meeting against them back in 2013. So, the head coach Rusty Wright was a former. Did I spell that right? Was the
Nope.
former linebacker and special teams coach at Georgia State. I'm gonna go auto.
I figured it was on purpose. Honestly. Looking at the rest of the slide, I was like, oh, it's just another thing.
Yeah, either that or autocorrect. We'll go with either one of those two, but definitely not just me being stupid. Georgia State is 4-6 versus FCS teams since moving to the FBS, but we are currently on a
tasty stat.
3-game win streak. So do
To me,
either
that says we righted the ship. Like we should be a little less nervous about FCS games as we've been. Of course, we're all still gonna approach this tentatively, but I feel like things have gotten a lot better against FCS teams in the recent history.
All right, so I agree. That's a point that I was going to make is that we always talk about how nervous we are about FCS games, but this does show that we've won the last three. We're on the upward trend. Sadly, as sad as it is, 2 trivia questions for you. So we are on a 3-game win streak. What is the last FCS team we lost to, and what is the one we've got 3-game win streak, but what is the fourth one? That's not part of the streak.
Samford last loss.
All right, you say Samford. What do you say, Tim?
I don't know. We didn't lose to Furman, did we? Did we
Came
win last
close.
second?
Came close against Darren Granger as quarterback of Furman, right?
Yeah. No, not them. I don't know. I block all these losses to FCS teams
Game
out.
1 of Sean Elliott and Center Park Stadium, Tennessee State.
The Mocs.
Tennessee State, whatever the Tigers,
Oh.
Tennessee State Tigers.
Yeah.
And that was our last
TSU,
loss to
baby.
open up Center Park Stadium. Actually to open up Georgia State Stadium. We do not have a naming sponsor. Then they don't get the extra
If
money.
there were epic ways to fail, we do them. We're like brand new stadium. I mean, it's not brand new, but brand new to all of us. Open
new
up
to me.
stadium. FCS team, like you should beat them. We lose.
Yeah, and then.
Ugh.
And
I
then
blocked that
the fourth win. What is the fourth win against an FCS team as us being FBS?
Air Force.
Last year,
Air Force is not FCS, you
I
moron.
know. Just messing.
Liberty. Just kidding.
No. Well, I mean,
it was last year.
They
Who
would have
did we
been.
play
They
last
would have been
year?
FCS. I don't. Have we ever played Liberty?
I don't think so. They've threatened it.
No, we played last year. It was closer than it
Last year
needed to
we
be.
had Rhode Island last year. We beat the snot out of them. To open up the season.
I'm gonna say insert FCS team here doesn't win. And
Samford.
We go in with a 4-game winning. We get
Well,
4-game.
to answer the trivia question, it was Abilene Christian. They
Ah,
had just
yeah.
moved. They had just moved up from Division II or whatever the hell they were to D1 FCS, and we beat them in the Georgia Dome to start the
That
season.
game was forever ago.
Holy
and then
crap!
went that was our first season, or maybe it was our second season in FBS, and we went 1-11 in that season. All right.
Didn't Abilene Christian go away? Like the
I don't know.
football team?
That makes sense.
I think they did.
Were they one of those?
Maybe. I will never
All
feel
right.
comfortable until we're like 12-6. We got a ways to go.
Yeah.
I was
hear
gonna
you.
say until we have 6 wins. I'm like, nah. I'm still gonna feel it's 6-6. You're going into that season to get that 7th win.
And if we lose again, I need it to be 14-7 before I'm comfortable. Like we're gonna
Exactly.
we need to
Double
double
whatever
that
it is.
loss record for me to
do.
feel good.
I'll never feel comfortable in these matchups.
And even then, I'm gonna be sad that it took so long for me to feel comfortable.
All right. So Tim, you already called it. You're calling a win against
4-game winning streak. We got this on lockdown.
Yeah.
Beat insert FCS team here. Done.
I'm also a win.
I too. I'm gonna go ahead and go with the win. I don't like doing that just because I still have that apprehension about calling a win against an FCS team a win. But we should they're a good team. They're a very good team. But yeah, I got us winning on that one. All right. The Vanderbilt Commodorks. First SEC team coming to Center Park Stadium. They were 2-10 last season, 0-8 in conference. No bowl game, obviously. Their 2 wins last season were both in week 1 and 2, so they're coming on a 10-game losing streak against Hawaii. Which, I mean, if you're gonna, play Hawaii, why are you playing them at home? Play at Hawaii, but them and Alabama A&M, an FCS team. So a lot of people tell us that we're being ridiculous by predicting a win against Vanderbilt. I still see this one as a win. I've got it down as a win.
Easiest P5 team will play at home, possibly ever. I'm going with a W on this one.
To me, I'm like looking at this and I'm like, this is the worst P4 team.
Oh yeah, same thing. But yes,
that it exists at this point. So if we're beating Georgia Tech, we're beating Vandy.
Yeah, exactly. So we're 2-game win streak heading into this one. We're definitely beating Vandy. I agree. We will have. I think it's going to happen. One of our Patreon members got his undergrad. Todd got his undergrad at Vandy and his graduate degree at Georgia State, and he wants to come on and talk about the Common Dorks. So that'll be a good little preview. Oh yeah, I did mention that we got a rec talk to talk about Georgia Tech before the game for that week, and then Chris Goforth from the Atlanta Falcons Network, who does a Mox on the Mic podcast to talk about Chattanooga before that game that week. So
should be nice.
All right. So
it's cool we're playing Vandy. I would like to go up there and visit Nashville, and then like my dad in Bowling Green, just like half an hour north of there. But we're playing them here, which is pretty cool. But like,
is there bourbon involved?
It's next year or the year afterwards that we're going to be heading up to Vanderbilt.
Cool.
This is a home and home.
Be a nice little family trip for me. I'm going to do like an extended weekend probably.
I think it is next year, 2025.
Leave the kid with the grandparents.
Yeah, there you go. That's a problem though. Like I want to do the same thing when we have that Ole Miss game. Leave the kid with the grandparents, but like grandparents are past the game, so I have to drive through Oxford to Memphis to drop off the kid, and then drive back to Oxford to drive back to Memphis to drive home. So I just got to convince them to meet me in Oxford.
Like an hour? It's like an hour from there, right? It's not that bad.
It's not bad. It's not bad.
And it's like the middle of nowhere, so there's no traffic.
You're driving through Mississippi, so it's like one lane both ways, and
you
like
have to deal with the clay roads, but
yeah, exactly. Yeah. All right, we moving on from Vanderbilt. No one's feeling too much apprehension on this game.
Yeah. Tim, what were you a W?
Oh, W all the way. Easiest team
right.
will play. Easiest P5 will ever play in Center Park.
Cool. Do you think we get a well-attended game? Do we think we get? I would assume a lot of Vandy alum live in Atlanta. It's not a far trip. Do you think we get some Vandy folk down here?
I mean, if your team is
they've got Virginia. They got Virginia Tech and Alcorn State the 2 weeks before that. And don't ask me about any other teams. I just for somehow remember the 2 teams that Vanderbilt has.
I mean, if they're 0-2 coming in our game, I don't see a lot of their fans showing up.
I think they beat Alcorn State. They beat Alabama A&M. They'll beat Alcorn State.
Yeah, and,
Right,
and like the thing about Atlanta is there's always local fans, and they've got a lot of them. Not as many as like other SEC teams, but they are an SEC team that has plenty of fans out and about, and
Yeah.
major metropolitan area, very good school. I would bet that plenty of people in Atlanta would be like, man, I'd never get to head up to Nashville, so it'd be really cool to get to go see a game. And,
Yeah,
I think these will all be all of our P4, P5 games are. If they're at home, they're going to be decently well attended, I think.
and you got to figure also from Vanderbilt fans' perspective, those that live in the Nashville, Tennessee area, they're like, this is closer than going to Georgia because you don't have to go to Atlanta and then Georgia. You can just go straight to Atlanta. And then also, I mean, they've got a far better chance of beating us than they've got of beating Georgia. So
yeah. I don't think people are going to
definitely
travel
true.
for it. I don't think you're going to get a lot of people from Nashville coming down, but it's Atlanta. There are team clubs all over town, meetups,
Right.
and all kinds of stuff. Like people have their folks here, and Atlanta's just like a major area for like a diverse football fan crowd.
which is why it's one of the reasons why it's awesome. All right, move on.
It's
Moving
good
on
and bad, right? It's a
to
blessing and a curse. Oh boy.
Oh, we're gonna win
the bye week, the first bye week. We get the bye week in week 4 because Sunbelt is bad at scheduling. I got nothing. It's bye week.
I really thought all three of those bottom guys were like the same person.
It's different.
Pun intended. Hello. Bottom guys.
As far as I'm concerned, as far as I'm concerned, they're all 5 the exact same person.
Just with different haircuts.
It's all basically the same haircut, but
All right.
Oh,
Then
no.
in week 5, the Trash Down South heads
It's an
up to
interesting,
Atlanta.
photo you got there.
I don't
So
like
that-
those syringes.
It looks pretty trashy.
This is actually a live webcam image of beautiful Eagle Creek as we speak right now. So I know that it's 9:30 in Georgia, but they actually still have light on the creek because it just radiates grossness. So, all right, we own the record 6-4 as a series. They're coming off a 5-game losing streak, including their bowl game. Their last win was against us down in that garbage of a place, but this one I got as a W. I can't say anything else. It's a win. It's a win.
I threw a
it's
win
at
on there too.
home.
Just this is one that is a must win for us. Like I don't care how good they are, I'm gonna call it a win because our guys got to do it. This is the one. This is the one they have to win.
McGee has said from the very beginning that this was he recognized the rivalry. He was on staff there. He coached against us. He interim head coached them in a bowl game, but he understands.
Didn't he lose to us though? He did the right thing and lost, right?
No, that was the Paulson Stadium North game.
Ah, son of a bitch.
But he was not. He was just a assistant coach. Then he was not head coach. He only head coach.
I find out he masterminded that whole thing. We're done. Me and Coach Eddie McGee are done.
But if he masterminded that whole thing, like yes, that I definitely. I'm trying to think of things to say that I can actually say on the podcast. But also, that's kind of the mindset I want for my head coach.
But you know what? I would start not a GoFundMe. Because that's the old joke.
Go F you.
Petition,
I would start a change.org petition
to
hire Coach Elliott back.
Oh wow, that's going deep, Ryan.
But let's not discuss it because I don't want to have to do things like that.
No, I think that
I don't ever want to know the truth if it is not the truth that I want. So
I think we could. I don't think we're going 0-3. I think if we did start the season 0-3, there's still no way that Del McGee's losing this game.
Yep.
We're on agreement.
Yeah, I'm gonna say W. I mean, I know we got thrashed last year by them at their place. I think we right that this year.
Well, and typically it's been we beat them there and they beat us here, and they sort of messed that up, and so it's messed up now. So like we can win.
I think McGee knows how important the game is, and I think with a week to prepare and a week to recover, we get the W.
Yeah.
I also just want to say that when I go to the AI image generator to create like the little thumbnails for YouTube every week for our episodes, I
Yes.
tend to go through like dozens of iterations before I find one that I agree on. And sometimes I agree on one that came early in the scenario, but I go through several iterations before I find one. This one, I just said creek. I said dirty creek with syringes and Navy football stuff, and bam.
I think they even got the helmet right.
I know, right? It's just like perfect. I was like, I'm not even gonna try to do a variation at all. This looks like exactly what Statesboro looks like.
First cut, got it.
I don't know. I think that there's maybe too much water and too high of a like bank here. So we're actually giving them maybe a little bit too much credit.
They need a Ruby Tuesdays in the background.
Yeah,
it's more of a ditch, right? It's not really a creek.
It's a retention pond, is what it really is.
I do also love AIs. Like can't get like weird little details right. So like that's an S5. Like why is there an S on that? But that's fine. It's neither here nor there.
Super 5.
Yeah, it's
all right. There we go. The next week is another bye week.
Ooh,
we have
nice.
2 bye weeks in 3 weeks.
Look at that bulge.
Yeah.
I'm just
like a
saying.
French pole
We need to
vaulter.
get to last call stat for
I'm just
Ryan.
saying. I know I've been drugged up all day. It's been great.
Oh, perfect. I knew you were going to use this. I was wondering if you were going to go to AI or just pull a logo.
AI was only used for Trash Down South because I was not going to put one of their logos on there. I was not going to use their name. That's just they don't deserve it at all. Old Dominion, our last home game for like ever. This is a game. Then this is the game that's still like that game last season, the last game of the season after losing. What was it? We lost 4 in a row. We lost 5 in a row, and then we were up in this game, and Sean pissed it away.
We write that
return
shit.
game.
We rip through them this year. We're gonna just like last year, the perfect way to lose a game. You could never repeat that ever again. This year, we're gonna rip through them.
I agree. There's no reason why
I
we
muted to cough, and then I unmuted right when I coughed. I don't know what the
thanks,
hell's wrong
Ryan. I
with me.
appreciate that.
Sorry, guys.
The drugs are wearing off. Hit them back up.
That's a little rough. I think our team is not hurt at all by the loss last year because everyone's new and nobody even knows.
There's a lot
what
of people
happened.
new.
So like not really a big problem, not really anything that'll get in anybody's head, and we're well positioned to just go ahead and win this game outright anyway.
That, and we'll have only played one game in 3 weeks, so everybody will be rested and
Maybe
fresh
2
and
rested.
healed. Yeah. That's why they play a good soft game against the team against Old Dominion. All right, so right now we are.
Is that a win for you then, David?
Oh yeah, easily a win. I guess I should wait till the next game to get halfway through the season. But currently, our only difference is Tech has the conservative loss against Tech, and everybody else, all 3 of us, have wins for every other game of the season.
Yeah, we're 5-0, 5-0, and 4-1. So good outlook.
I'm happy with either of these scenarios at this point as we head into the worst stretch of Sunbelt scheduling of all time.
I do want to say though, again, my whole thing going into this was I have no clue what this team is capable of, and all I've got is hope. And so
we got
I may
feelings.
as well hope for the best, right? And like I was looking at all these teams, and I'm like we could do this. Like it's not even like a stretch to say that we'd beat Georgia Tech. I don't think that's a stretch at all. And so it's like, why wouldn't I pick the better thing? If we were playing Bama, I would have said a loss, right?
Right.
Because like I don't have hope for that. There's not
I don't know,
a
they
team
don't have
that we
Saban
can
anymore,
field
man.
that would be picked to win that. What?
We have never lost a game against Bama that Saban did not coach. So
That's true. That's true. Everything's changed. Everything's different.
I'm feeling great, Ryan. You said I was crazy when I said the same things months ago, and you were right there now.
I know.
I
You know
love
what
it.
I was doing? You know what I wasn't doing? Looking at the schedule.
I know, because you hate schedule talk.
I'm like, but now today I was like, you know what? It's time to look at the schedule and see what I think. And I did, and I was like, oh man, we could have a good season. We have a really low strength of schedule. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Like we're really playing a bunch of shitty teams, and we should beat a lot of them.
Yeah, I agree.
I can easily see 1-3, 2-2 coming out of the first four. I can.
Me too.
But I'm gonna say 3-1 coming out of that, and we'll be good and rested for the 8 games we have to play afterwards. Yeah,
the
in a row.
Was it 6-2 on the road to end the season?
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
What's going on with this Buffalo, man? Why is it so weird?
I was trying to find something to make fun of Marshall. And this logo popped up, and I was like, this is the only thing I can really do to actually make it be Marshall and make it be weird. So this is
what's that Big Mouth, the Netflix sex ed like puberty thing? He looks like one of the this bison looks like one of those sex monsters.
He looks like one of the Warner Brothers Looney Tunes Cupid, little hoofed Cupids they had.
Oh yeah,
but all grown up and
but still sort of pouty
and fell in hard times and is now do things for money. So
yeah, he's not angry. He's definitely just pouting, throwing a tantrum. He looks like a 4-year-old is upset about something.
Yeah. All right, so let's look at Marshall, otherwise known as West Virginia's other school. They had a record of 6-7 last season, lost in their bowl game to UTSA. They beat us 2 years ago. We beat them last year. This is the start of our 5-game road series. Did I get that right? 5-game road series. Thursday night game, coming off a game. They're coming off a game at Trash Down South. So we'll both have just played Trash Down South in our last games. I think that Marshall's garbage this year, and I think this is a win, even on a short week. Well, no, it's not a short week because it's
it is
Old Dominion.
We had Old Dominion. Yeah,
we had Old Dominion. I already forgot what we talked about. We have Old Dominion.
Otherwise, we have a 2-week bye after Georgia Southern.
That's not a 5-game road series. It's a 4-game road series.
4 games, yes.
Yeah.
I think we get the W. I thought Marshall was going to be the real deal last year. I don't think they are going to be this year. I think we're going to match up pretty well with them overall. I think we steal the W up in the Huntington, West Virginia.
Ryan.
Yeah, I think they needed momentum last year to kind of stay as relevant as they have been, and they didn't do that. This UTSA loss doesn't mean a whole lot because UTSA was really good last year. But I think this is a win. I think this will be a fun game to watch though.
On a Thursday.
Yeah, I think this will be probably a pretty good matchup.
At Manny's, I looked at trying to figure out a way to get this game. Huntington is just not an easy place to get to. I'm not driving up. I'm not driving the 9 hours it is on a Thursday morning to get up there to it.
West Virginia is surprisingly pretty though.
You got to fly into Cincinnati and then rent a car and drive 2 or 3 hours or something like that to get there. Yeah. This is just not an easy matchup to get to. Which you think about it, that's the same thing that our players have to do. They'll be flying into likely Cincinnati and sitting on a bus for another 3 hours before they get to the that place. So that adds a little stress, especially being on a Thursday. So it's not in the players' favor, but it is the first road game. Actually, a legit road game. So,
if you remember last year, Marshall was predicted to be at the top of the East, and they did nothing even close to that. So I think.
Oh yeah, they were horrible. 3-5 in conference.
They were horrible. I don't think they're going to be much better this year. I think we'll be kind of right there with them, kind of fighting for prominence in the SBC East.
Yeah. Before we get to other teams, I will say that the color. The green is a nice green. I do like their green.
Yeah, whatever. Green's ugly. Except for money. I like the color of money.
Me too.
David, you did not say whether you thought we were going to win that game or not.
Oh, I said win. I said immediately. My opening statement was.
Oh, okay. I thought you deferred to me, and then I just.
I said win. What do you think, Ryan? So check the tape.
Happy State.
I did not want to put their logo on here until we beat them. So here's a lovely picture of Tim and I at the last time in Boone.
So cold.
It was so cold.
Looking at this photo gives me shivers. It was so cold.
We had to walk in the top right corner over there as we walked in. We'd walk around the entire stadium to get up there and to leave the same way. You could not go the other direction around the short side of the end zone to get out of the stadium. They don't know how to do queuing in Boone. That
Terrible ingress egress in Boone.
Yeah. All right. Ryan, I know you already told us what you're picking for this
It's
game.
Ryan's game, Ryan.
Yeah, so I technically have Lizzie that weekend, but I really think I want to get up there this year and not wait 2 more years to go to Appy.
Because we're gonna win this year.
But I am afraid that even if I do make it up
Oh.
there, I am gonna watch our very first loss of the season.
Oh, Ryan's got
That's what I think.
lost. Ryan's got lost.
That's what I think. Because Appy is the first like really
They're
truly
good.
quality good team that we're going to play on our schedule. And I mean, like even if we played ourselves before that, I would have not counted us. Like Appy just generally is a very quality team, and they're picked by a lot of people to be like far and beyond ranked the highest in the Sun Belt, even beyond Jimmy Madison. And I think we're going to lose this game.
Well,
What do you think,
I'm gonna join you, Ryan. I don't think we get it done this year against Appy. I think we're 2 years away from it.
2 years. Ooh.
We might win at home, but at the Rock, I think we're 2 years away. I think we win
All
next
right,
time. we play.
I'm gonna pick a win
Yes,
against Appy
David. Awesome.
until we don't do it. Right. Until we do it.
Until we
I'm
do
gonna
it the
be
next
win.
season. And the next
Then I'll
season,
start
say
picking
we're
losses.
losing.
Yeah. I want to be that guy that called it at the beginning of the season. So I'm
I'm just.
calling a win.
I think David has us going 15-0.
I think
What
so.
I'm hearing.
I think we're on track for that.
I
mean,
told
That's what I'm
you
hearing.
14-1, man. 14-1.
I have 2 more losses on the schedule.
I
All
can
right, we'll see what they
remember
are.
back to your pandemic front yard watch party where we should have won that time against them.
Yep.
We were up. We had it all, and we just pissed it all away.
That was Sean coaching right there. Like we were in games and then just couldn't finish them out. You know, we've another game later on against Arkansas State that we're going to be looking at, and that was another one where we scored 52 points and lost the game. So yeah. All right.
All right.
Heading out of conference, but still out of state, up to Stores, Yukon.
It's a sad looking.
This is the funniest looking logo I found for a Yukon Husky. So I was like, I got to use it. He looks depressed. I feel like if I was a Huskies fan, this is the way I would look every single Saturday. So I picked, even though this game's gonna be on a Friday, I picked it. We beat the snot out of them last year in week 2. I don't see any reason why it's any different this year. We beat the snot out of them again.
What a sad and deflated looking Yukon
It's so
Husky.
confused.
It's like, where am I? Why am I here? Is my name Biden?
It's like if that Husky was dog pool.
That's a good one.
The tongue would be longer.
That's yeah. Well,
That's
no,
true.
this is the Husky version of it.
Gotcha.
We get the W up at Yukon. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's a lot to say here either. I mean, it's
Yeah.
like just win. We're gonna win this one. I'm not too worried about
Just
it.
win, baby.
It might be cold up there, I guess. I don't know. But you know,
All
this
right.
this will be our if anything happens, that will be our trap game, and that will be like our weird loss if there's a weird loss. If Coach AD McGee isn't able to get that gremlin off our back, then it's going to be Yukon that we lose to. But I got it as a win. I think he's fixed it.
All right, we get all wins there. All right.
Death Row schedule time. Here we go.
Jimmy Madison. We head to Jimmy Madison. We get a little bit of an extra day considering with the travel coming off of that Friday game at Yukon.
I just like to update the notes that purple is not ugly. It's a nice purple.
No, it's in the notes.
Ugly.
The notes say that
On
it's
the
ugly.
slide
So.
right there.
It's a good color though. The slide is wrong. I don't know why the slide is wrong.
But I couldn't. I didn't want to put their logo up there either, and I found that there is a band or a album called Jimmy Madison, and it said that it's "Bumps on a Smooth Surface" is the name of the album, and "Smooth Surface, Smooth Brain." I feel like Jimmy Madison has got some smooth-brained fan base. So
I went like STD, like you shave, but you still got some bumps down there.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Although now that I look at it, that Jimmy part of this Jimmy Madison on their album kind of gives me like a kind of a fit, like it's a lot of backwards ends or something. I'm not sure what's going on right there exactly.
I'm a little worried about it too. It's very jagged.
I think it's
Yeah.
just it's like a lip bump. It's like some herpes or something. That's what that's what I'm seeing. Yeah.
All right. This team's had our number. I called them to be not nearly as good as a call up from FCS to FBS as they've been. I think most people thought that was reasonable. They have been tremendous, and that pains me to say it. What are you guys thinking about this game at no,
Harrisonburg? No,
Harrison. I was going to say that
Harrisonburg. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they did what they needed to do in their first year in FBS, and showed like they had a strong showing, so they're able to do some more recruiting and whatnot. And I think they're gonna still have a pretty strong year, even if they take a slight step back. Like maybe they're not gonna be like chest thumping as much as they were, because law of averages says it's just not gonna stay that way. But they're still gonna be good enough to beat us.
What say you?
Fair enough. I think if I remember correctly, we went up there and we looked really good at first. We were up big, and then
that was 2 years ago. 2 years ago, it was like that. We were up big, and then just absolutely crumbled and fell apart.
And then we either ran out of steam, forgot how to play football. Someone paid us our coach off to coach incorrectly. I don't know, but it was a disaster after that point. Here's the deal. Jimmy Madison is not as good as last year. They lost their head coach, lost a bunch of players. They lost their stud QB to the team that's in Texas. They're still going to be pretty dang good, but not anywhere near as good as last year or the year before. I think we take the L here. We run into our buzzsaw.
This is the L. Mm-hmm. You said lost too, Ryan, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I said
so
lost.
I'm looking at their schedule heading into our game. They are getting their bye week before us after
they're gonna need it.
So they have a home game against Southern Miss, and then they get a bye week because everyone needs a bye week after their home game. Their schedule, I mean, you talk about strength of schedule. Their strength of schedule is not that bad. They start the season at Charlotte. They have FCS. They're off at North Carolina. Obviously, their hardest game. Ball State at Monroe. Coastal at Trash Down South. Southern Miss bye week, and then it's us. They have a softer way of going into it, and I would say a rational me would say a loss in the game. But if what are we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You're
at 8-0 right now, so you may as well go 9, right?
I just don't see us losing the game when we're plowing through teams as hard as we are right there. So I'm gonna keep the streak alive at another W.
Despite the beautiful purple, David thinks we'll win.
That purple is god awful. Actually, to be fair, all purples are god awful. It's not like they have the monopoly on ugly purple. Like purple's just an ugly color in general.
Yeah.
Unless you're Grimace. I like Grimace. He's pretty cool.
I will say. Oh, go ahead, Tim.
Can you imagine a cross between them and Liberty and what comes of that? I mean, unlimited money and unlimited ego. Because Liberty fans, they don't have the ego, I think, that Jimmy Madison fans
have. They're pretty arrogant. They're pretty arrogant. Yeah.
Well, let's hope we never have to have
Tim, they
on
have
our schedule.
God on their side, okay?
Well, then how do they lose? How do they ever lose games, Ryan?
They have the power of prayer. No, well, hey, don't question God's plan, okay? Come on. Calm down, dude. Calm down. All sarcasm.
The Lord works mysterious ways. Like that would actually be like if everything was equal and Georgia State was actually like a religious university that we all went to, and Ryan, I know you wouldn't have gone, but blah blah blah, whatever. I'm just saying, with our record, that what has happened to us, I think that the shirts we would have sold would have been "The Lord works mysterious ways." Like,
yeah.
So, all right, off of Jimmy Madison, on to homecoming game, Arkansas State. I just put the regular logo on there because I really think that's a cool logo they have with the emphasized A in between state. That's just cool.
When I wrote down in the spreadsheet, I did the ST capital A lowercase STTE or whatever.
Yeah.
And but then I updated to just say Arky.
Yeah.
I think you just had a picture of a waterfall for them. That's what you should have put up.
Oh man, that would have been so good. Yeah, I didn't even think about that. That
I
would
do
made a
like
lot of
their
sense.
logo though.
Oops.
Their wolf waterfall.
You like the crying wolf?
Yeah, I mean it's a waterfall, but it's more of like it's like a laughing emoji. It's like that laughing emoji I always use with like the
It kinda
tears coming
does.
out.
It does
Like he's
kinda
just
look
sort of like
that.
cracking up at the rest of us. I don't know. I like their swagger. I've always sort of liked Arkansas State, like just their style and even well, you know they were really good when we first came into FBS and they've
And
just
they've
sort of
fallen
slacked
off,
off.
and they're supposed to be coming back right now, but I don't see it happening. I've got this as a
No,
win
I do
immediately.
too. I do too. Tim,
I think this is a loss. Yeah. I think they are coming back, and I think they're going to be pretty good next year. At least year coming up, obviously.
they won't have their
Right.
waterfalls though because they're going to
They
be at our
won't.
house. They're going to be at our house.
They're going to be our house.
I don't
think
know if it rains in Atlanta. Center Park Stadium is known for flooding in the past. Maybe we have a flood in the locker rooms. That's our own little
That's true.
miniature waterfalls.
That's
So,
true.
Yeah.
All right, we've won 2 of the last 3, so
We're almost done,
Okay.
and we're going a little long, but I think this is good content. So
never been accused of that before in my life. All right, my Texas State Armadillos.
Ooh.
I had to make sure that Kathy Ireland got the largest picture in this.
Nice.
isn't that wrong? Kathy Allen was on. It was North Texas, wasn't it?
No, it was Texas State. See, she has the same logo as the Texas State University Armadillos.
I really thought it was. All right, whatever.
It's still green. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
No, Texas State. So Brett McMurphy has Texas State actually as his college football playoff G5 entrant.
Wow.
So this is they're getting some press as
That's some press right there.
yeah. Our last time we played them was Dan Ellington's magical year that came to a short end in Monroe. 3 overtime loss in San Marcos. After what was it? We beat Tennessee. Had to come from behind against was it Kennesaw State? And then we went up to Western Michigan and got blown out, and then 3 overtime loss to Texas State, a game that I thought that was going to be just a blowout win for us.
Yeah.
That was.
You know what?
So when I went and was like looking up stuff about these teams, basically Texas State is one of the higher ranked, and a lot of people are pretty high on them because they've got some really good production coming back. And it seems like it's very steady production. Like it's not like, you know, a blip. It's like they seem to be building something. And so I have this as a loss. I think they're going to beat us.
They got McLeod. They're going to beat us.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually going to join the ranks. I think that
That is your first loss, sir.
my first loss of the
You're
season.
not-
My
you're
first
not
loss of the season.
allowed.
I think that they're going to lose, and I think it's setting up a rematch game of Georgia State heading back to San Marcos for the Sun Belt Championship, where we'll inevitably win it. I don't know if that will actually make us get a college football playoff spot, but I think that I think it makes sense that all good things got to come to an end. It'd be the best season in Georgia State's history. Yeah, we take a loss in San Marcos. And apparently we are at why can't it? Well, I want to pull up. There we go.
Hey, you already
Our
did
last
it once.
game, the beach chickens or the beach turkeys in this case, because it is the Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Is this our rivalry weekend? Coastal Carolina?
The Sun Belt has no idea what they're doing with rivalry weekend. They just I don't know.
I am just thankful that Tech and UGA moved the game to Friday.
It is weird. 'Cause
Clears
they were-
this.
Yeah, they were doing a bunch of the P4 programs were doing. I think that ACC had asked Clemson to move their game against South Carolina to that
And they
Friday,
said
and Clemson
no.
was like big middle finger. But apparently, I didn't even realize at the time that Georgia and Georgia Tech had decided to move their game. Is that it's in Tech? It's at Tech, right?
Is that
Sure.
Tech? Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
So it'll be nice. You get to go to a Friday game and then follow it up with some
Just
solid
roll
Georgia
right
State
into,
tailgating on Saturday.
This is a chili cook-off game. Chili cook-off / bring your Thanksgiving leftovers that you don't want to eat. Actually, no, bring the leftovers you do want to eat. I don't want to eat your garbage food that no one likes. Don't bring Aunt Sally's
Bring the
like
best stuff. Whatever was the award-winning Thanksgiving. Yeah.
the marshmallow Jello salad. I don't want that crap. I want the good stuff. Give me the gravy and the dressing and the meat. All right, Coastal. No team's ever won
I
the home game. This is
Yeah,
game is
but
at
I mean,
home.
Coastal's falling apart. You know, I mean, they had their moment in the sun, and I think they're falling back to earth exactly where they probably belong. And I got us winning this at home.
I think the streak's broken. I think we drop this one.
We drop it?
Mm-hmm.
That would
Yep.
not break the streak, right?
Wait,
No, this is
no,
the
look,
home game
because
for us.
yeah,
The home game's never won.
oh yeah,
home games
we're
never
not
won.
breaking the streak.
Oh, the streak continues.
All right, so Ryan, you had a win, and Tim, you've got a loss.
Yeah.
All right, I'm actually going with a win on this one. I think the streak does come to an end, and the home team gets the win. Looking at their schedule, they've also the second time that a team we're playing will have played Trash Down South the week before playing us. I feel like that is confusing to their fans. Like, didn't we play this team last week? Because they're too dumb to understand there can be more than one football team in Georgia. I mean, to be fair,
So, this is the second time, and I just want to point this out, that you've cited the other team's strength of schedule about like how we would do against them. And I think that isn't really fair. They could have a really crappy strength of schedule, but if they win all of them and they're better than us anyway, like they're better than us anyway.
okay.
I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm just like, just pointing
So
out.
if you're
flaw in
good,
the logic.
if you're good, you're good.
Yeah, if you're good, you're good. And if you have a shitty strength of schedule, you'll win them and you won't have
No,
an
I
opportunity
think
to
the last
prove
time I
it.
mentioned-
And that's why you won't go to the New Year's 6 games, because you won't have proven that how good you are because you didn't play anybody worthwhile. But you might
All right.
have still been a good enough team to go. You just can't prove it.
So Ryan's got 3 losses. Tim's got 1, 2. Tim, do you really have us going on a 4-game losing streak in the season?
Yeah,
I do.
Tim
Yeah.
has a
Ooh.
6-6.
Yikes.
I actually feel like we're gonna win 5 or 6 this year.
Yeah.
I think we can pull out the 6, but I feel like how many wins do I have us at? I think you have us
Well,
at
it's 6.
7.
You have a 6-6.
Oh,
yeah,
perfect. Then. Yeah, just leave
You
it
have a
alone.
6-6.
Well,
Yeah.
that is bare minimum. That's the expectation, right? We're and honestly, with a brand new coach coming in and all the turnover we've had, we say 6-6 is bare minimum. Making it to a bowl game is bare minimum. All right, that's not
Well,
where we
and I'll
want
tell
to
you,
be, but
the games you picked, him, like I'm not even mad at, like, if we went 6, if year 1 under Coach McGee we go 6-6 and it's those games, I'm not actually feeling too bad, especially considering how poorly people have ranked us in the preseason, and maybe they're right about certain things, and we've got blue colored glasses on. I think that we'd probably still be in pretty good shape if we went 6-6 on the games that you put in there.
Yeah, I mean, I really want us to be like
7-5.
Yeah. Well, David has us 11-1, so only losing to his most
My
cherished
beloved
Bobcat.
Kathy
I
Ireland.
mean,
I've been there. He's never
I
even
was-
been. Well, you have been there, haven't you?
I was ecstatic when I thought we'd be 6-0 going into App State. I remember talking about it. Like, this
Yeah.
is the year we could be 6-0 going into App State.
Yeah, what happened to that, Tim? I missed that, Tim. Bring that
Well,
Tim back.
he still only has us with 1 loss to Georgia Tech, and that was still like
It's pretty
it felt
close.
a little toss-upable.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean,
So-
yeah. Oof.
Let's see what happens after this Saturday.
Yeah. We'll reassess
right,
next week.
All right, so Ryan has us at was it 9-3, Tim at 6-6, me at 11-1. I think that's nobody has us doing horrible. No one
No,
has
I
us,
think Tim's gonna win this, though. I feel like he's probably more right than any of us. David,
if
you're
you
wrong.
can't go over, yeah, for sure.
You could probably swap out one of the earlier season losses for like an Arc State or Coastal. I think.
I mean,
it's the same result, but
I could see an ODU loss popping up out of nowhere or something
It's
like
gonna be
that. and then-
ODU or UConn. That's gonna be like the weird
We're gonna be
FUBAR,
like,
stupid,
what?
and but then it's gonna be Tech or Appy that we also win. Like
Right.
I feel
We
like
go on a
we're
we're not
gonna
supposed
split
to.
all of those.
the chances of hindsight being what it is after going through this, the chances of winning all 4 of those games on the road, that's pretty small.
Yeah.
Watch us
Pretty
beat
small.
Texas State to knock them out of the playoffs, and then everyone hates us.
We actually go 1-11 and only beat Texas State.
No, not my Texas.
I mean, that
State.
would, like, as a G5 team, that would destroy your chances of getting in the playoff.
Oh yeah.
Especially losing to a team that's the only win of the season that
Also
lost to
that.
Chattanooga Monarchs, and then not Monarchs, the Mocs, and then the Chattanooga ends up winning the FCS championship.
Exactly.
All right. Well, we went long on this. I think we can go ahead and call it last call. Take some pee breaks and talk about the future of the G5 programs in last call. So, Tim, you want to take us out of here?
Yeah. Thanks everyone for listening. We're going to take a quick break, take a pee, drink a beer, get some beers, get some cocktails. You can support the show by going to patreon.com/State of Atlanta. You get discounts on merch, free booze if you sign up. We'll be having booze throughout the season at our tailgates. Also group chat, always lively. And I can't remember anything else right now, but $5 to support the show. I think there's a $3 tier for David.
No, it's closed. I
Oh,
checked today.
$3
Sold
tier.
out.
So there's a freemium tier if you're cheap but want to join in. Anyway,
Nope.
say goodbye, guys.
Goodbye, guys.
Peace.